We're back on the Shelby today, 86 Dodge Daytona Turbo Z. We're gonna see if we can't take this thing down the road today for the first time in 2 years. If you don't follow along with the channel, click up here. It'll be a playlist that takes you up to this point. We're 2 years into this build, getting this old Shelby back on the road. It's a super solid 86 Daytona. We're down to the last couple things we got to do. I got some Rock Auto parts here, thermostat. Thank you so much to all the subscribers who noticed that I'm an idiot and the mystery wire right down here goes to the temperature sensor that's missing in the block. Thank you guys. See, I disregarded temperature because I plugged this guy in and I said, all right, that's our temp sensor, and completely forgot that, hey, that's for the fans, I believe. This is for the gauge. So we got the temp sensor, we got the thermostat, got a gasket for the thermostat. What do we got for the, oh man, it's been a couple of lame Rock Auto magnets, man. Mini Cooper, come on. Whatever, you know the rules. It's got to go up anyway. We try to respect all vehicles around here, even though they're not all created equally. One thing I do have to find is a plug for this hole. It's a pretty big metric. Looks like a coarse thread in there. When I got my head back, I either lost the plug or don't have it or something. So thermostat, sensor, and gasket, and all this stuff together was like 23 bucks with shipping. Sometimes this car, all the parts are on clearance for it, and you can get it so cheap from Rock Auto. So let's dive in. I'm gonna get the thermostat in, sensor in, get everything kind of hooked up, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a trip to the store to find that plug. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill this thing with water. We're gonna throw this cooling system cleaner in it because in the block it was right full of rust. So this thing says for severe cleaning or heavy cleaning, run engine for 3 to 6 hours with water and this in it, and then drain everything, and then put fresh water in it, run it for 5 minutes, drain it again, and then you can put coolant in it and live your life as normal. Curious to see how much of that crap this stuff cleans out. So never had to, well, never used that before, I should say. I've flushed blocks and just called it good enough. I flushed this one already, but not enough came out. I saw how much rust was in the cooling jackets in that block. So let's get rolling here. Just gonna clean up the gasket surface a little on this thermostat housing. My buddy Steven Seal at Turbo Dodge Parts identified very quickly that this is a GM style thermostat housing. It fits, but he was able to identify that it wasn't the original style right away. One of you guys knows what's different? Comment down below, because I haven't seen the original one. This is what this one came with, I think. All right, we've got our new thermostat housing on with a gasket. Dipstick hooks to the bottom stud. Temp sensor is in. It's a relief it was the right thread pitch. What I'm finding a lot with this car is sensors and different pieces I'm buying for it just don't quite fit right, different thread pitch or what have you. But sensor is good, hooked up. It's probably a good idea to have a coolant sensor with a brand new build, huh? One more thing I gotta buy while I'm out trying to find a plug for this is I need to get a very thin bendable funnel, or maybe I'll try to build my own with stuff I have here in the shop to fill the transmission oil. You guys that are experts on these cars, you guys in the comments know a lot more than I do about these things. I'm more of a V8 guy. These transmission fills are very difficult to get to with a traditional funnel, so I got to build something for that. I'm going to put this upper radiator hose on, and I guess we got to run to the store, see if we can get the plug, see if we can get a funnel action, and then we'll start putting water in this thing, and we can run it longer than like 30 seconds, which is going to be exciting. All right, back from the parts store. I got a 16 millimeter plug that should work to cap this guy off with some thread sealant. I got this pump, this hand pump that should be able to, this transmission doesn't have a drain plug on it, should be able to pump most of the fluid that's in it out. And then I was able to build a funnel before I left that I think is gonna work. Show you that guy's that in a second. And then I got 530 motor oil. The owner's manual for the 1986 calls for ATF in the 525 manual transmission, but everybody says that 530 motor oil is the way to go. Like I said, you guys in the Turbo Dodge community know more than I do about this car, so I'm going to go with it. The 87 and up, I guess, calls for 530 motor oil, so interesting. But yeah, that's what we're going to do here. Get this thing going, man. Jack the front up, pull that wheel off. I believe it takes 2.5 quarts in that transmission. Got our upper coolant hose on. Our clamps were way too big. I did cut them down so they didn't look obnoxious. Let's get to it, man. We're going to be driving this thing here shortly. All right, so down here by the transmission, it appears that this thing had ATF in it because when I changed the CV shaft out, a bunch of ATF colored fluid came out. So I got this pump contraption here that we'll see if it works. Got it stuck in there, and we're going to see if we can pump out what we can before we put the 530 in there. If we have to mix a little bit of ATF and motor oil, it's no big deal. They're both petroleum-based products, so it is what it is. But let's pump it out, see if it works. Well, that pump did almost nothing. Couldn't get down close enough to the bottom of the transmission. However, when I changed the CV shaft, it already all leaked out from there, which is almost to the bottom of the transaxle. So I think we're close enough. We're just going to do my little homemade funnel here. I've got a piece of diesel hose. Fits perfect into this funnel. Fits like so. And then the other end fits perfect into the hole. So we're just going to hold this baby up and put the 530 to it until it starts leaking out. And then we're going to call it good. Well, we're back on the ground. It took 2 quarts of oil in the transmission. It only calls for 2.3 total. So that means we got most of it out when we changed the CV shaft. So there's only like 0.3 quarts of ATF in there. Not worried about that. Now we're going to put water in it. Got my makeshift bleed plug here. I'm going to fill this thing up, run it for a little bit, let it bleed kind of on both ends. And then, well, I'm going to throw this coolant system flush in there as well. And man, I think we're ready to run this thing for a little bit. We're going to at least idle it for a while. See how it goes. All right, we're full of coolant. Put our quart of flush in there. Our little bleed plug is in. Let's fire this thing up and bleed the system. This will be the longest this thing has ran in a while. We can straight let it run now. It's got coolant in it. So see what happens. We might have a water pump leaking down here. Can't tell if that's what I spilled or if that's leaking out of the pump. Seems like it's leaking out of the pump. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Also leaking out of my plug here. Apparently I got to get the actual plug and the thread tape isn't holding on that. Dang it. Well, let's keep running it and see what it does here. Something's burning off there. I don't love that. And it's smoking up a storm in here. Hoping to get that thermostat open so it'll at least suck the water down in, but what is burning off up here that bad? Must just be the turbo. Yeah, looks like it. I don't see any fuel leaking or oil or anything like that. Open up this garage door too to let her vent out a little better. Does our temperature gauge work? Not that I can see anything in here. Well, it just reads pegged. All the way hot. Might be a gauge issue, might be a sensor issue. It wouldn't be hot yet. Let's get it out of this garage. It's getting smoky in here. Oh, thermostat opened up. That's good. There's that flush going to work. See all that crap? Let's get her out of the garage here. The idle's still high. I'm suspecting a vacuum issue there. Temperature gauge, I mean, there's no way it's that hot yet. So temperature gauge is just pegged. One of my main concerns is this. Let's see if that clears up. It's not oil smoke. This thing's been sitting for I don't know how long, so I almost want to take it around the block real quick. Get this stuff off the back. See what this thing does. Oh, it's clearing up now, I think. I'm just gonna take it for a quick spin around the block. I know it's losing coolant, but see what it boosts to. That's still over boosting. Yeah, vacuum issues we gotta clear up with it. So we gotta be careful. Sounds cool though. It's all boosted up. It's pretty cool. I haven't driven this thing in a long time. We got bugs to figure out, obviously, already, but this thing sounds like the 80s. Hear all the rattles? I don't have a lot of fuel either. Yeah, we got vacuum work to do. Yeah, she's boosting too high. Sounds cool though, and it kind of rips. Hear that turbo whistle? Hope you guys can hear that. Sounds good. Sounds real good. All right, that's all the driving I want to do with it leaking coolant, but we got to drive it. First trip down the road in 2 years. Yeah, we definitely still got vacuum issues. Idle's high and it's still overboosting, so we're gonna need to basically redo all the vacuum lines. Smoke cleared up. I got it up on boost a couple times, seemed to have cleared it up. That's good. Man, that thing was really smoking when I first took off. Well, there we have it. That flush is working. See all the crap? I don't think the water pump is still leaking. I believe that leak was just from when I spilt all the water from before I put that plug in. When I was filling it up. Yeah, I think we're good. First trip down the road in over 2 years, and man, it's actually pretty fun to drive. It rips. That coolant flush, I got it rinsed off now. That coolant flush was coming up with so much crap that I think I'm going to dump the coolant. I was going to wait and run it for, you know, several times, but so much of that crap was coming out. I think I'm just going to dump the coolant, and maybe I'll run another flush through it the next time I drive it. But we're going to dig into some of the issues that we had, you know, the vacuum lines. I'm really glad it came out. I figured it was just because it didn't, that smoke didn't, it didn't smell like, it wasn't oil, it didn't smell like antifreeze, it didn't smell like fuel. I mean, it was just from sitting for so long. So it came out of it, which is fantastic. And yeah, this thing is sweet, man. We still got to do a few things, you know, the crossover cable, The shifter's a little bit tough side to side, so hopefully we can lube that somehow because I cannot find another crossover cable. We're gonna reupholster the front seats. The same guy who did the Satellite is gonna take a stab at these. The back seats are in great shape still, so we don't need to do those. We got all the cosmetic stuff for it. I got the passenger side mirror lens, came with the car. I was able to find this A-pillar trim, so we're gonna replace that. I'm gonna do tires on it, so we still got a checklist, but we gotta find one of these plugs because obviously my makeshift plug did not hold. So, man, that is pretty awesome. Oil pressure stayed way up, which is fantastic because when I first bought the car, the oil pressure was reading really low. I think it might have just been a sensor. I did replace the sensor. But then again, the bottom end bearings are pretty worn out. Maybe it was an oil pressure actual problem, but oil pressure is great now, right in the middle of the gauge. Temperature is pegged, but I think that temperature sensor is just wrong. Maybe I'll buy another one, try another one in there. If you guys know, comment down below if you've seen temperature sensor issues on these things. Right out of the box, brand new part. Seems to be pretty common these days. So, man, this is exciting. We'll see you on the next one.